Hello friends, good evening all of you. So we are discussing various components of internal control system as per COSO framework. How many components are there? 5. What are they? First one is control environment that we have thoroughly discussed in our previous class. Second one is control risk assessment that we have discussed. Third one is control activities that we'll see now. Third one is control activities that we'll see now. First, I have some content on the screen. We'll read it, try to understand. Then, as usual, I give you a lot of examples for you to understand. Okay. So look here. Control activities. Control activities are the actions established by the policies and procedures of the internal control system that help to ensure that management instructions to limit the risks are being carried out. Control activities can be preventive, or they can be detective, or they can be corrective, they can be directive, they can be compensating. So all the five. The organization selects and develops control activities that contribute to the mitigation of risks for achievement of the objectives to acceptable levels. 2. The organization selects and develops general control activities over technology to restrict technology access to authorized users and to protect organization assets from external threats. The organization deploy control activities through policies that establish what is expected and procedures that put policies into actions. Then there is a box given whether a policy is in writing or not. It should establish clear responsibility and accountability. Management should periodically review and reassess policies and procedures and related control activities for continued relevance and revise them when necessary. This is control activities. Now I'll give you 1 minute of time. Read the whole para from control activities till the end of the box. Then I will start explaining what it is. So guys, I'll give you 1-2 examples here. Okay, you have a car and you have a kid, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years kid. These kids are hyperactive and all the time they want to peep, they want to see from the window outside, and sometimes they are so hyperactive that they want to jump also. Now imagine you are driving and you are riding a two-wheeler, a kid is there in front of you. You are driving car, a kid is there next to you. Now there is a risk that these people can open the door. These people can open the door. When they open the door, all of a sudden they will fall and there is a risk that they can die also. Isn't it? In a car, it is simple. It is very easy for a person to open the lever and the door will be opened. And obviously they will fall and die. What to do? That is the reason to prevent children from opening the doors. There is something called child lock. There is something called child lock. So when you put the child lock on, they cannot open. Even how many times they try also, they cannot on that. This is one. Second one is that windscreen, this mirror will be there, glass. They can reduce it by pressing the button. From there also there is a risk that they can fall. Even for that also you have a parental control in the driving seat next to you. You can simply switch it on so that no button works. These people cannot reduce it down, cannot bring it down. This is risk prevention and protection. This is risk prevention and protection. And you don't want your kid to use your mobile because you have Google Pay in it, or you have so much of information in it. What you do is you put some pattern lock, or you put some passcode, or you put some what do we call pin, or even your thumb impression. Unless you read, it reads your finger biometrically, it won't open. Passwords are the controls. Now imagine you are running one business. You have laptops, computers and data. You have very important data. You do not want your staff to unauthorizedly use the data. You want to protect your data. What will you do? Simple, you develop a policy. What could be policy? Password. And also I told you in one of the previous classes that in many companies, if you are working with Accenture, you cannot connect with any internet whatever you want. The system will accept only that VPN. Virtual private network will be there. Even if you are doing work from home also, they will give you one this like what do we call data card, data traveler card will be there, no, USB. You have to connect through that. You cannot send mails to any outsiders because they want to protect the data. Now you go to petrol filling station next time, petrol pump. So give 100 rupees to him or 200 rupees to him, or ask him, Anna, fill 200 rupees petrol. He will fill petrol. Try to give cash to him. Look carefully, the person who is filling petrol in your bike will not take the 200 rupees from you. There will be another person who is carrying one leather bag here. He will come and take the money from you. Why? Because imagine if you are filling petrol, if I am your friend, I came, you filled 500 rupees petrol in my bike and you took only 200 rupees. It can be a fraud. So a person who does the transaction should not bill or should not collect the bill. That can be one control. So here there are certain universal controls. I'll tell you some universal controls. These universal controls, I'll give you 1-2 examples. Okay. Custodial function. What is that? Custody. Why it is not writing? Custodial function. You write down in your notes. Custodial function and write down in your notes. Custodial function. Control activities is the heading. Under that, write down custodial function and record function. Custodial function and record function shall be performed by 2 different people. Custodial function, record function shall be performed by 2 different people, 2 different persons. For example, inventory. In a company, who looks after inventory? Custody of inventory is with storekeeper or go down in charge. Who has the custody of the inventory? Physical custody. Excuse me. Who has the physical custody? Storekeeper. But can storekeeper record inventory? No. Inventory registers. Inventory records. Inventory valuations will be done by management accounting or cost accounting department. Cost accountant, or if cost accountant is not there in the company, accountant. If management accountant is there, he also may look after it, but most appropriately cost accountant will do this. So take one item, inventory. In one company, there will be so many items of inventory in one go down. So who takes care of physical possession? Safeguarding of the assets. Safeguarding of the assets will be done by one person, storekeeper, Mr. A. But inventory accounting cannot be done. Inventory inflows, outflows cannot be recorded by this guy. That will be recorded by Mr. B, who is an accountant. If same person performs it, what if you received 100 kgs of raw material and you have written only 40 kgs, 60 kgs misappropriated? There is a possibility. So this is what we call control activity, segregation of duties. This is called segregation of duties, control activities. This is example 1. Example 2, cash. Go to a bank. Who has the custody of cash? Cashier. Who has the custody of cash? Cashier. Can cashier write cash book? Can cashier write cash book? No. Who writes cash book? Who writes cash book? Accountant. They are different. There cannot be same person. Same person cannot handle cash and write cash book. No. Two different people do that. If one person does that, there can be a fraud. Imagine one customer deposited 1 lakh rupees. I am the cashier, I am the accountant. I took 1 lakh rupees. I have recorded that he deposited only 60,000, 40,000 I put it in my pocket. Control activity, segregation of duties. So what did I tell you? Control activities. These are to segregate the duties. The organization develops control activities to mitigate the risk. Risk means there is a possibility of fraud. Mitigate means protective control. You understand? Right now, under that. Point number 2. Segregation of duties. Segregation of duties is one of the segregation of duties is one of the techniques is one of the techniques through which is one of the techniques through which control activities can be implemented. Through which control activities can be implemented. Through which control activities can be implemented. Next point 3. One of the globally recognized control activity is segregation of duties of staff. Segregation of duties of cash. Segregation of duties of cash. Segregation of duties of staff. Segregation of duties of staff. Segregation of duties of staff. Next point. It could be third point or fourth point right now. In case of inventory, underline. In case of inventory, underline. Under that, write down A. Custody function hyphen storekeeper. B. Record function accountant. Custody function, storekeeper, record function, accountant. Same person cannot act as both. That is the rule. Same person cannot act as both. Next, cash. Under that, A. Custodial function hyphen cashier. Custodian function cashier. B. Record function accountant. Record function accountant. Next point, fifth or sixth point, whatever the numbering is, please continue. The organization selects and develops various control activities. The organization selects and develops various control activities to mitigate the risk. To mitigate the risk. Organization selects and develops control activities to mitigate the risk. Next point. The organization selects and develops the organization selects and develops the organization selects and develops general controls over technology. General controls over technology. Next line A. Next line A. To give access to authorized users. A. To give access to authorized users. To give access to authorized users. B. B. To prevent unauthorized usage. To prevent unauthorized usage. To prevent unauthorized usage. C. To protect the assets. To protect the assets like hardware, software, hardware, software, data, etc. Hardware, software, data, etc. Okay, so the next point will be fourth point, information and communication. Information and communication. Navya, can you turn on the mic and say hi, ma? So Navya, this fourth point, information and communication, is there. No, this covers three principles. Do you remember I told you 5 components of internal control covers 17 principles. Yes, sir. So first one, yes, very good. So like that, in our fourth heading, information and communication, there are 3 principles. Now let us see what these points are. Shall we? Yes, sir. Okay. So Navya, just read this content, ma, whatever you can see on the board. Read this once slowly. Okay. Key principles are there. Everything must identify and communicate or time frame to carry out internal control. Very good. Next. Organization should train or generate and use quality information support the function of the internal control system. Very good. Next. Information can be and both reports and externally research reports. Okay. Organization should internally communicate of and responsibility for internal control. Okay. The organization
was about the function of internal
Okay.
external parties, stakeholders,
Very good. So, Navya, keep your mobile in mute, and all of you read these paras. The whole fourth heading, read it 2 times. I'll explain what it is. Read it 2 times. So, guys, you have done reading it. Now, see, simple. Yazdani Begum is asking, internal parties means employees and management, ma? Internal parties means employees and management. Board of directors, audit committee members, internal auditors, okay, then employees, middle level management, lower level employees. All these people are internal. Outsiders are shareholders, partners, owners, regulators, government, customers, bankers, financiers. These are outside partners, external parties. Okay, now look here. Information is the basis for decision making. Whether you call it investment decisions, you call it financing decisions, any decision depends on the information. Imagine if the information is not available timely, if the information is not reliable, if the information is not accurate, the decisions you make will be wrong decisions. Wrong decisions will give you financial losses. So the first line says, relevant information must be identified, captured, recorded, communicated in a form and in time frame. Within time you need to put it, within appropriate form you need to put it, and it should be relevant and reliable. Okay, so organization should obtain or generate and use relevant quality information to support functioning of internal controls. Organization should generate appropriate information relating to internal control system. This is step 1. Step 2, organization should internally communicate the information including the objectives, responsibilities of internal controls necessary for the supporting of the system. So you should communicate it to all the staff. You have taken some decision, you have some policy, you have a plan, you have an instruction. You should communicate that to all your employees. Otherwise, how will they know? They have to implement this policy, no? You have taken a policy in State Bank of India, head office, they said, this is the process of clearing a check. That employee sitting in branch of bank should also know, communicate it. Then the next one is the organization communicates with external parties also. Dear shareholder, dear banker, dear government, we are having these kind of regulations and policies internally. We have internal controls like this, that you should communicate. Then the last one is 5. What is this 5? Monitoring activity. What is this monitoring activity? Now, listen. It is 2015 and I have 200 staff. In my company, 200 staff are working. Some of them are not coming on time. 9 o'clock is the office, they come at 9:30. So to record the attendance, I have put one attendance register like this. So here name of the staff is there, here date is there, and here time he should write. So I have, and signature. So I have written Pawan Kumar, I have done the sign, I have put the date. Time 11 o'clock I came, but I wrote 9 o'clock. There are two problems. One, I am not working properly. Two, I will be paid full money. So there will be no deduction for this 1 hour, 2 hours, or there is no permission, there is no system. He is coming whenever he wants, whenever he wants to leave, he is going. This is bad. So what I have done is, in my company, to restrict these kind of people, I have put one automatic machine and I have given tags, identity cards. So in ID card, RFID will be there, RFID card we call, and you need to take this card, go to the machine, recognize, key. Then the machine will record what is the in time of Pawan. The machine will record what is the in time of Pawan, and that will be filled automatically in an Excel sheet. This will be captured automatically when Pawan is coming, when Madhushri is coming, when Sanjay is coming, when Ranjit is coming. All the employees, whenever they are coming, automatically the system will capture and an email will be sent to the concerned officer, be it HR, be it any functional departmental head, be it branch manager. Automatically report will come. So when I open the report, it says Pavan came today at 11 o'clock. So it is excellent system to restrict these kind of people, to control these kind of people. So 2015, this control exceptionally, brilliantly it worked. After few days, Pavan recognized a loophole, a deficiency in the control system. I called my friend Ray, Ranjit, we are friends, no? Today you are going to office at 9 o'clock. Take my card also. Take this, I am giving you my card also. Put it in your pocket and go. Near the machine, you'll put this, your ID card. At that time, read my ID card also. So, machine will say, 9 o'clock, Pavan came, but I will come at 11 o'clock. That means fraud is happening despite control. Control is there, but still fraud is happening. Why? This is called control failure. This is called control deficiency. This is called ineffective control, weak control, bad control. Now the question is, but Pavan sir, the day when I have established control, at that point of time, in that circumstance, that was the best control, Pavan sir. Yes. How strong the controls might be, over a period they become obsolete, they become outdated, they will be they will have some deficiencies. Now what to do? Think today what can be revised control, what can be revised control, what can be revised control. Now one idea came to you, Pavan sir, we'll do one thing, we will put a biometric machine where thumb impression the machine reads, then only it records time. So we have put one machine, one small biometric thumb reader. So you'll put that thumb and then it takes in time. Now I cannot say, hey Ranjit, we are friends now, please help me, you are going to office at 9 o'clock now, I will cut my finger, take my finger and put in the machine. Seriously, will you do that? No. So this is a better control. So why monitoring is required? Simple. Controls over a period might become outdated. Controls over a period will become outdated. When they are outdated, if you do not identify and rectify them, again frauds and errors will happen, irregularities will happen. So put the heading 5, component 5, monitoring activity. Monitoring activity. Monitoring activity. Under the trade point number 1, even the strongest of the controls, point number 1, even the strongest of the controls, even the strongest of the controls will be outdated. Even the strongest of the controls will be outdated and become obsolete. And become obsolete. Over a period of time. And become obsolete over a period of time. Become obsolete over a period of time. Point number 2. Therefore, the controls established, must be, evaluated regularly. Whether they are present, whether they are present, whether they are present, comma, functioning and effective. Present, comma, functioning and effective. Next point number 3. Therefore, management should monitor. Therefore, management should monitor various internal controls. To identify deficiencies. In timely manner, and make appropriate corrective actions Full stop. That's all. So all of you read the notes and tell me whether you understand it. Read the notes and tell me. So guys, I asked you to write these 3 bullet points. Limitations of effective control system. Are you done with that? See, I told you one of the controls is this segregation of duties we have discussed. What did I tell? I told you that there should be some segregation. Cash, there should be one person to handle cash by name cashier and another person to record cash, that is accountant. Correct? I told this. Now let me tell you what can be problem in this. Pawan sir, I am running a very small business, Pawan sir. This small business, Pawan sir, I cannot afford giving 10,000 to cashier, 20,000 to accountant, 30,000 I cannot afford, and 2 staff not required, Pawan sir. Daily very less number of transactions will be there. Very less number of transactions. I cannot afford these 2 people, Pawan sir. Then, Pawan sir, I'll do one thing. I'll take one person only. Give 12,000 or 15,000 to him. I will ask him, do you know how to count cash? Yes, sir. Do you know how to record journal entries? Yes, sir. Do both donkey works. In many companies, trust me, this only will happen. Many entities. Small entities cannot afford segregation of duties. Small entities cannot afford segregation of duties. Why? Because for segregation of duties, you need to have more resources. Not only 2 employees, 2 computers you want, 2 tables you want, 2 chairs you want, more bigger office you want, 2 fans you want. So if the companies, if more number of people are increasing, you need to give pensions, PF, bonus, this kind of stuff also. So if you look at small enterprises, what they do, you know, they will take one lady employee, female employee. She will be front office executive. She'll be telecaller. She'll be receptionist. She'll be secretary to owner. She'll be cashier. She'll be accountant. She is whole and soul. You give 10,000, 15,000 rupees salary, ask her to do all these activities. They will also do because they are in need of job. And second thing is, volume of load of work is very less. No, you will not have to pass 200 journal entries every day, 4 journal entries, 10 transactions. Easily you can do, no problems. This is one problem with internal control. Internal control sometimes can be costly. Internal controls can be time consuming. Small entities might not be able to bear it. This is one problem. Another problem is, imagine in this company there is one manager A, cashier B, accountant C. B cannot do fraud alone. C cannot do fraud alone. B and C together to do fraud also, they are scared because manager is there. One day manager called, hey B, wah, C, wah. They developed a plan mutually to misappropriate some cash and to distribute that among them. This is a small branch. Anyway, head office will never come to know this. Or they are running one shop. The owner sits in Dubai. The shop is in Hyderabad. They do not know how many we are selling and all. Strong internal controls are there. Not there. So A called B and C and they are joining hands together. Teamwork. What they are doing? They are joining hands together. A, B, and C. They join hands together. And they are doing a fraud. This is called collusion. Collusion. Collusion means staff joining hands together to do a fraud. Collusion among staff can fail the control. You have certain policies, but they are not listening. No, they are misappropriating. Sometimes collusion with outsiders. Collusion with outsiders is also possible. So, for example, I am a supplier. A is the manager. I went to A and I said, sir, we are supplying this raw material, sir, 10 rupees per kg, sir, please take, sir. A said, if I buy from you, my company will buy from you. What is my benefit? In my pocket also something should be there, no? Then A said, sir, I will give you 20,000 rupees commission, sir. The supplier said 20,000 commission. A said, no, I need 1 lakh commission. Lakh is big money, sir. I will do one thing, sir. 10 rupees pen, 10 rupees pen. My cost is 8 rupees. I get 2 rupees only. I cannot give you 1 lakh rupees commission. We'll do one thing. Let me sell pen at 12 rupees to you. Raw material billing 12 rupees. Company will pay 12 rupees to me. I will get 2 rupees more profit. That means if I sell 1 lakh units, I'll get 2 lakh rupees more profit. Then I can give you 1 lakh rupee commission. Now A is thinking whether company is earning money or no. Mera kya lena dena? I am earning 1 lakh rupees. No. So this is employee colluding with outsider. Employee colluding with outsider. This also breaks internal controls. Frauds will happen. You have strong internal control system, but this person who's sitting here is an idiot. No, that is the reason in the elements of internal control, first thing is values, ethics. Pick people who are having a strong integrity and honesty system. Train them properly. Have a proper organizational structure. These are the prerequisites of internal control system. So, what are the limitations? The limitations are management override the controls. Like manager himself is not listening to policy, which are not monitored, limited, or frequent. Collusion among employees and vendors. Inherent weaknesses such as errors, misunderstandings, reluctance to accept conflict of interest, expensive and time-consuming systems. So, installing controls is time-consuming. Installing controls is expensive. There are misunderstandings between people. Conflict of interest. My personal welfare versus company welfare. Conflict of interest. The potentiality for human errors. All these are limitations of an effective internal control system. So we are done with this particular question. Guys, you understand that? In the chat box, yes, bolo, if you understand, then we will move further. Hello, do you understand this? Okay, now write down homework. What is PCAOB? What is today's homework? What is PCAOB? PCAOB. Next, two. Second homework. Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Sarbanes-Oxley Act. In brackets, SOX. Madhushri, can you switch on your mic and say hi, ma? Madhushri, are you there? So Navya, now we are going to the next topic, that is Sarbanes-Oxley Act SOX compliance. If you remember, in one of my earlier introductions, I told you, in United States, there are big frauds. One of the major frauds is Enron, WorldCom. These kind of frauds, they have shook the world economy, not only US economy. And the major problem is people stopped believing in audits. So previously, Pawan Kumar, auditor, I gave audit report. They used to say, oh, audit report, that means company books must be very good books only. Pawan sir gave true and fair view. After all these frauds, people started saying, hey, you people only gave audit report there also, no, now will not trust you. So now it has become a big problem for regulatory authorities like AICPA, ICAI, and also it has become a big problem for stock exchanges, SEBI in India, SEC there in US, and also to the government finally. Then the US government thought we have to pass one strict law. So there are two people appointed for this purpose, Sarbanes and Oxley. So this act is named after them, Sarbanes-Oxley Act. So in short form, we call it SOX. Sarbanes, S. Oxley, OX. SOX compliance we call. So in this, what happens, various rules and regulations of bookkeeping, financial statements, valuations, actuarial services, internal audit, about all these things, they have given some very strong dose. They said, hey, Pawan, are you conducting audit of X Limited? Yes, sir, I am the auditor of X Limited. Don't write books of account of the company. But sir, previously I am writing books of account, I get 1 lakh rupees, I am doing audit, I get 2 lakh rupees, sir. Now SOX is saying, idiot, conflict of interest. You only write journal entries, you only conduct audit. Like a student, he only prepares question paper, he only writes, he only evaluates 100 out of 100. So SOX Act said, dear auditors, you are not supposed to do certain services from today. Bookkeeping is not allowed. Financial information processing is not allowed. Designing and implementation of financial controls is not allowed. That means if I am conducting audit of X Limited, for X Limited, I cannot be internal auditor because already I am external auditor. For X Limited, I cannot be accountant because I am already auditor. For X Limited, I cannot give any kind of valuation services. So there are restrictions. Finally, CFO, CEO, board of directors, statutory auditors have to give certificate to SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, stating that, sir, we know our responsibility for maintenance of books of account, preparation of financial statements, installing internal controls, and prevention and detection of frauds and errors. We have designed and developed internal controls. We have evaluated internal controls. They are working properly. Frauds will not take place in our company. You need to give certification. After that, if fraud happens, you will be arrested first. Obviously, no, you have given in writing. Sir, I have verified everything. There are no frauds in our company reported. There cannot be a fraud. So now you might say, Pawan sir, as a human being, how can I give it like that? If you cannot give it like that, don't sit in CEO chair, no? Don't sit in CFO chair. One hand, you are CEO, CFO taking hundreds of crores of rupees of salaries. On the other hand, you are not looking after controls properly. What are you doing? You are eating public money. Public is losing confidence in corporate system. People will not invest in stock markets. People will stop trusting auditors. People will stop trusting economy, law. No one respects Companies Act. No one respects SEC regulations. No one respects audits. No one respects the financial statements. No one respects the economy, and no one will invest in the company. Then what will you do? To prevent that, they have launched this SOX. Hello, madam, read it.
Yes, sir.
Read it.
Surveys of the Act of 2000 SOX. Surveys was enacted in first of fraud, big data, and has all all of the subsidiaries.
Okay, wait. Hello. Wait. When you are reading, your punctuations, the way how you read, where you stop, where you do not stop, where you put a comma, where you pause, everything should be clear. Otherwise, you will not understand. Okay, so I will show you. Sarbanes-Oxley Act was enacted in response to several major incidents of financial reporting frauds and audit failures. If you read financial reporting fraud, you will not understand. Financial reporting fraud, that means fraud in financial statements and audit failure. And it applies to all publicly held companies in US. Underline, all publicly held companies in US. That means listed companies. Publicly held means public companies. In India, we call it public limited company. They call publicly held company. Held means shareholding, holding, hold, held. Publicly held means public have shares. For example, in India, Reliance Industries, public hold shares. And to all these companies' divisions and all of their wholly owned subsidiaries, your subsidiary companies also it is applicable. It also applies to any non-US owned publicly held multinational company that operate in US. Super point now. Infosys is listed in US. So Infosys also must comply with SOX. Read ma 201. So this section and heading of the section important. Section 201, you need to remember 201. It deals with services outside the scope and practice of auditors. What auditors should not do. Read ma.
Order to maintain Section 201 lists specific non-audit services that may not be provided by an external auditor to an audit client because their provision creates a fundamental conflict of interest from accounting firms.
Very good. Now look here, Pawan sir, I am a qualified chartered accountant. I am auditor. I should not do bookkeeping. So here bookkeeping is there. Here actuarial service is there. Appraisal of valuation is there. Internal audit is there. Management function is there. Human resource. Pawan sir, what all the things I do, they are asking me not to do, Pawan sir. तो मैं क्या करूं? भूखी मर जाऊं? I will not eat anything from tomorrow. Hey, listen. No one is asking you don't do bookkeeping service. What is the condition here? Don't give this service to your audit client. That means already X Limited is your audit client. For them, don't do it. Pawan sir, that means one outside company came, Y Limited, where I am not the auditor. They are asking, sir, can you do our books of account service, sir? Happily do. Who's asking you not to do? So these services are prohibited. Prohibited if you are already external auditor of the company. You understand? Now read the list, ma.
These services
Read.
keeping services or other services relating to the accounting laws or the audit plan.
Okay.
Financial information design and implementation.
Okay.
Appraisal or valuation services, various or contribution in kind.
Okay.
Actuarial services, internal audit outsourcing services, management, broker or dealer, investment advisor or investment banking services, services, export services unrelated to the audit.
Okay.
Any other service that the public company accounting oversight determines by regulation is not permissible.
That's all. So I told you already, homework today, homework is PCAOB. You need to Google it. Google, just search what is PCAOB. Read it. Tomorrow I'll ask you, in the next class I'll ask you what is PCAOB. 2-3 MCQs are there on it. So questions will come from this area. Now what are all these services? These are the professional services. Normally as a CA I can do. Normally as a CA I can do. But if already I am auditor of a company, for that particular company doing these things are prohibited. You understand? Actuarial service means accounting estimations. They calculate provisions, like, you know, in case of insurance, in case of life insurance, general insurance, they calculate various kind of complex accounting estimations. They are known as actuarial services. You understand? So with this section 201, we'll stop the class here for the day and we'll continue in the next class. Probably 99% in the next session we'll be completing the syllabus. So the whole section E part 1 will be completed by the next session. If required, next session instead of 1 hour I might take, like today how I have taken 1.5 hours, like that I might extend half an hour, but I ensure that we'll complete this in the next class. Okay, so are we done for the day? Any doubts you have?